It's very normal, especially towards the end of pregnancy, to start having more contractions, and this is actually a good thing because it's your body prepping itself for labor. Your cervix has to go through something called ripening, and that's where your body starts to release hormones that cause the cervix to soften, move forward in your pelvis, and thin out a little bit. So hopefully these irregular contractions that you're having are doing those sorts of things so that when your body actually goes into labor, it will go smoothly and hopefully not take too long. You mentioned that you're 36 weeks and you're not quite full term. Full term is 37 weeks, but you are to the point where we wouldn't stop you if you went into labor. Babies born after 34 weeks are supposed to have the same long-term effects as a full-term baby. Now, that doesn't mean that your baby may not have complications if he or she were to be born at 36 weeks. A lot of times, the lungs are still a little immature, the babies have issues eating and issues with jaundice and may spend a little bit of time in the newborn ICU, but long-term should be okay. So ideally, we'd like you not to have your baby yet, but if things start to happen, we're not going to stop you. If you start to have any of the following, this would be a reason to go to the hospital. If you start to have regular contractions that are happening 4 to 5 times an hour until you're 37 weeks, and then after that, you can wait till they're about every 4 to 5 minutes before you go and let that go on for at least 2 hours before you go. That will increase your chances that your cervix is actually changing because the definition of labor is not contractions, it's cervical change. So the key is you have to have intense, frequent contractions for your cervix to start changing. If you feel like you're having any leaking of fluid from the vagina or suspect that your water's broken, you should go to the hospital. If you have any bright red vaginal bleeding, that scares most women into going to the hospital. And then also pay attention to your baby's movement. You should feel your baby move at least 6 times an hour. So if you don't feel like that's happening, or if you're noticing a decrease in your baby's movement, then drink something sweet, lay down on one of your sides and count movements. And if you get at least 6 in an hour, chances are things are fine. But if you're getting 5 or less in an hour, it's a good idea to go to labor and delivery and get checked out. I hope everything goes well for you. And if you have any other questions for me, feel free to ask them on our Facebook page and recommend us to your friends and family too.